Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Latino America and all the paisanos around the globe, all the mothers and misters, Chiva brothers and sisters. Welcome to We Goat You Live. We're transmitting directly from La Perla Tapatía, home to the most glorious of teams, el Club Deportivo Guadalajara, el magnífico, el que va a salir vencedor este sábado. Bienvenidos todos a We Goat You Live. Joining me today are our co-hosts, Gabriela Silva and Alfredo Rodriguez. Gabi, ¿cómo estás?
Hi. I'm so happy to be back. Episode 2 of We Goat You. It's Clásico de México week, so we have a lot to cover, a lot of information to share, and we are very anxious to see what you think about everything that's been happening and going on in Clásico de México week. So yeah, very excited to be here.
Welcome, welcome. Alfredo, ¿cómo estás?
Hi, Robert. Hi, Gabi. I'm very excited, very happy to be here. Counting the hours for El Clásico de México, just over 24 hours for kickoff at Estadio Akron. So excited, and it's going to be fantastic because both teams get to the Clásico. Only 1 point between each other, fourth and fifth place. Direct duel for us, direct Liguilla spot. So it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And hope to have a great showdown tomorrow at the Akron and hopefully a red and white win by the end of the night.
Hopefully, ¿cuál? We're going to win, my friend.
We are going to win.
We are going to win.
We are going to win.
Por seguridad.
We're at home.
Estamos diciendo.
Yeah.
So listen, we're going to be, if you want to participate, send us a DM through Facebook. If you want to participate in our show. So let me give you a brief rundown of what we're going to be talking about in this segment of We Goat You Live. We're going to talk about the previa de los partidos, right, of our weekend. We'll be speaking about La Femenil, of course, but of course, the central and most important focus of this weekend will be El Clásico de México. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything that went on this week before the Clásico de México. But before we do that, let me welcome someone who is
Our padrino.
Sí, nuestro padrino, Carlos.
Hello, hermano.
Justice, yes. Y es un chivermano, sports anchor for Telemundo 48 in the Bay Area, a reporter for Telemundo Sports, and an analyst for 49ers en español. O sea, en todos nos encontramos, Carlos. Welcome, my friend.
How are you? How's everyone? Really excited. I mean, a Clásico de México weekend is not like any other, and I have the luxury of being able to call the game this weekend too, alongside host Jose Baus on Telemundo Deportes on the app, because we have the games in English, and I'm really excited. What this game is gonna bring, especially, Chivas is in a great moment. Things are going well, and what a better time to face your most heated rival than when you're actually doing well.
Exactly. And it's been a while, right, since we've been doing well, where we could come to the game and say, like I said, we have to talk about seguridad, right? Saying what it is. And Chivas is, I think, a good rival for AMÉRICA right now. Yeah, América is coming into the game also off of a win. They look strong. But let's see what we, how, si salimos contestones también, because they're the one that's coming from below. What is it exactly that we're looking at Telemundo? Well, how do you follow Chivas over there, Carlos?
Well, like I said, in beginning 2020, we launched this new project to do Chivas in English. We're the rights holders of Chivas in the US. We're the home of Chivas de Guadalajara for everybody in the United States, for all the Chivermanos, whether it's in English or Spanish. We have a great crew that is actually currently in Guadalajara to bring you everything that's going to be with Andres Cantor, Carlos Hermosillo, Manuel Sol, Miguel Gurwitz, Ana Yurka, and all the people who were with Telemundo Deportes. And then I was involved on the English side of things, calling the games alongside Jorge Calvo for the most part. Every time we have a home game, it's been already almost 3 years that I've been with the team. I had a little gap in the past couple of weeks, but it seems like I'm actually going to be coming full time to do the Chivas games in English every time they're playing at home. I actually did the Femenil final that Chivas Femenil won recently. So it's been 3 years that I'm really dedicated to what Chivas is. not because it's only our product, but it's most important team in Mexico. So you gotta respect it how it is.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something. I might put you on the spot. Are you a Chivas fan?
I did not grow up a Chivas fan.
Okay.
I actually grew up following a separate team. I played for Cruz Azul. That I think that's a secret. I played for the Fuerzas Básicas of Cruz Azul until I was into second division. Then my career ended by deciding to do other things. But all my family is from Guadalajara. There's a lot of Chivermanos in my family. I would say 99% of my family on my mom's side are Chivas fans. So I know exactly what it is. I went to El Jalisco a bunch of times when Chivas was playing there. I've been at El Estadio Akron also a couple of times, not only on work mode, but also as a fan. And what Chivas brings. And now that I actually work here, I mean, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but Chivas is going to be here in San Jose, California next week. So
Right.
What the Chivermanos bring all over the world, all over the United States and Mexico, yeah, I don't think it has a comparison.
I was going to ask you that. How do our paisanos connect with the team being so far away from what you've experienced? How do you see that Chiva connection happening across such a long distance?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're here in Australia, Austria. You can go. You can be in 28 different places all over the planet, and it wouldn't matter. It's still the same feeling. Chivas is in the hearts of every single one of the Chivermanos. You see it when they're gonna play these games. There's always packed stadiums. When there's practices, people are waiting outside to get an autograph from the teams. They find out where the hotels are and go follow them. So it doesn't matter where Chivas is. You're gonna have a big crowd around them.
Chivas are rock stars.
Chivermanos in the US, especially if you're in the West Coast, you would like to definitely get to know this. As you may know, Chivas is gonna be in town next week. We're going to California next week, so we're facing on Wednesday the 22nd. We're facing Pachuca at PayPal Park, and in San Jose, and on Saturday the 25th, it's against Toluca in LA. Dignity Health Sports Park. So we have tickets for you. And everything that you gotta do is to interact with us on Twitter at our English Twitter social media account at ChivasEN_, ChivasEN_ with the hashtag WeGoChu, the name of this show, hashtag WeGoChu, with your pronostico, with your what you think is going to happen as a final score tomorrow in El Clásico de México against América, and automatically by tagging us on Twitter at ChivasEN_, sending your pronostico along with WeGoChu hashtag, you automatically get into the raffle and the contest of getting some free tickets for next week's Tour Rebaño, Wednesday in San Jose at PayPal Park, and Saturday in LA against Toluca in Dignity Health Sports Park. So tag us, interact with us, send your pronostico for tomorrow with the hashtag WeGoChu, and participate to get to be in the stands next week.
That's right, everybody. You can win a ticket. We can win tickets to go and see our glorioso rebaño. Let's keep moving on. Les tengo que presumir algo. Look at the gift I got yesterday.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
So nice.
Robert.
Look at that. All right.
I need that. My birthday is coming.
Yes. I'll try. We have, clásico. I won't show you the other one because it's, of no consequence.
That's so nice. That's so nice.
It's beautiful. It's magnificent. And probably tomorrow it's going to be freezing at the Akron at 9 p.m. with that nice February wind. Let's talk about Media Day. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. What did you guys think about Media Day? What did you think about how it was managed by our team back at the Akron? What was Media Day like for you guys?
It was very interesting. If I may start the conversation, I think it was very interesting. I think it's a very unique approach from both teams to be doing this, like uniendo fuerzas to bring fans and all the team and coaches and everybody involved and press in this particular game. That I think it is the most important or anticipated game of all the season and the tournament. So I think it was interesting. I I kept reading like mixed opinions about fans. Like, of course, like, what are you doing, mixing every single topic of America and Chivas or whatever. But I think it was very unique, and I mean, you have to like create this peaceful atmosphere, and I think that that's what they were trying to do, and bringing together like the two fandoms of both teams. So I think it is very interesting. It was a very unique exercise, and I expect a lot from going forward from this Clásico de Mexico on going on.
Yes, because people do need to understand that it's just a soccer game, man. It's a football game.
It's a game,
Yeah,
but
and
a lot
I
of
think
passion,
that,
a lot of passion is involved.
oh, definitely. We have. I think that. I mean, look at me right now. I'm just thinking, how can I be friendly? I have a lot of Americanista friends, and a lot of other friends from other teams. I don't think I've ever had an argument with an Americanista. You know, it's always that back and forth that maybe can get a little bit nasty. But an argument, I don't think I've had, because entre los grandes, I mean, ¿qué se puede pelear? I mean, what really can be a moment? We could just make fun of that. The other guy's weak this time. This time we're stronger. But in reality, I can't find it. It's very, very different from our crosstown derby, with Atlas, where that's more family felt. But how's the Clásico felt in the U.S.?
I was going to
Carlos,
say,
I'll pull you back in.
when we think about what we saw with Media Day yesterday, I think one of the big hits, or the home runs of doing it this way, and for those that maybe haven't seen it or haven't been able to experience it, it's a lot like how they do the Media Day for the Super Bowl. When you do Super Bowl, you have both teams there, players from both teams, they get together and you ask questions, and usually on that kind of like round table kind of setup that you have them sitting side by side and you ask questions. And part of it is, and I think that's what we're trying to do here, is the fact that rivalry has to be strong, that rivalry has to exist, because as you said, they're the two biggest teams in the whole country. But then at the same time, we had experienced, some nasty episodes in Mexican soccer lately. So there has to be that balance. And we saw it even this week with Napoli and Frankfurt in Europe. You have to have a balance. You have to have that balance where what Robert was talking about, of being able to have that passion on the field, knowing that you're defending the colors of the most important team in Mexico, but at the same time, that it stays like that it's just that you can get out and have beers over making fun of each other. And I think one of the reasons of doing it like that is to show that players can get competitive on the field. They will bring everything that they have as professionals and as passionate athletes, but then at the same time, they're friends, they're colleagues. I mean, they ran into each other all the time in the Mexican national team. So why will you not be friends with the guy that it's actually sharing sometimes even room with you in the national team? So I think it was a great idea. I really appreciate it from the media side also, because the access has been fantastic and you need it for the game. So just answering your question, it's exactly the same. Families here grow knowing exactly what team they support. And it doesn't matter if they're never I've had a couple of friends that they've never seen their teams live. They've never seen a Clásico de Mexico in Akron or in Azteca. They haven't ever seen a game like that. But even then, they are still the biggest Chivas and América fans that I can absolutely think of. So it's exactly the same. The border doesn't really matter for those things. And I think that's what makes these games really special.
It was a fun day as well. It was not only Media Day last night at the Akron, but we also had some influencers, like, for example, Jero Freixas. We had a comedy show by Jero and his wife, La Pareja del Mundial. Also, Franco Escamilla was at the locker room hosting a brief talk with El Bofo Bautista. We also had Diego Sanasi hosting a comedy show last night. So it was in the middle of everything, it was not only like not the Media Day by itself, but it was jumbled in the middle of other fun events that also made it so much more natural and in a much more friendly atmosphere. At the same time, at the beginning of the week, we had a podcast between Henry Martin and Pocho Guzman. where they spoke freely about everything on the rivalry. But they both said that the rivalry stays on the pitch because, at the end of the day, these players many times get together at the national team. Many of them are friends outside of the pitch. And they sent a message, both of them, to the fan bases. Pocho said that call for the fan base to remember that the players also, they also have families for both fan bases, either for the Chivas side, that, for example, if one of our players doesn't do it well, or for an America fan, if he's or she is angry at one of our players, that they all have families, and that you got to understand the human side of the game, that they're players, they're famous, they're celebrities, but they're also human beings, and that's just great. And also Henry Martin was on the same line at the podcast, so really liked how it all went down, how it all was in the middle of other events going on. So it was truly very, in a very natural sense, and very friendly and familiar atmosphere. So that was great as well.
And people
Hey
could
guys,
go-
so the comment section is getting heated. So should we start reading a couple of messages? By the
I like
way,
that one.
huge shout out to our good friends of Chivas del Norte who are always here
Chivas del
supporting
Norte.
and who are going to be hopefully here on the show sometime.
Yes.
So yay. Big shout out to Chivas del Norte. We have, I mean, it's getting heated because a lot of people like saying Arriba el América, or Chivas is the greatest team in Mexico. So that's exactly what we want right now. Like, we want you to interact with us and tell us what you think and what you expect from this game. So yeah, please keep commenting on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever you are watching right now.
Speaking of Chivas del Norte, I didn't think that Atlas fans were real until I actually went to Guadalajara. And especially if you go to Jalisco Stadium. No. ¿Qué? Pegriloso. Pegriloso.
Pegriloso.
Yes, that's a scary part, a scary place to be. Also, Chivas participated in an E-Clásico. And guess who won?
Who won?
We won. Chivas won. Chivas won. It was a close game, but they did very well. We also had press conferences all through the week. Were you able to see the press conference last night with Paunovic? Or it was earlier today. I'm sorry.
It was today.
Sorry,
It was
Today,
today, yes. I'm in another time zone. No, earlier today. Were you able to watch the conference? Anybody have any
I did.
comments on them?
I did. I like the part where Paunovic was asked if, because sometimes they get asked some sort of questions. So he was asked if he will one day manage America, and
I knew that was what you were going to say. Yeah.
He just said that he's a Chivas fan, so pretty much that there's absolutely no way that he will do so.
He said,
ever.
The minute I walked through those doors, I'm a Chivas fan forever.
So he was one of us.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's that spirit, right? That you have to have. That's what I mean. We never know. I always get really nervous before the game. I'm worried. I'm wondering, oh my gosh, counting the beers in my cooler and everything. And then when the game starts, it gets worse.
I
tell
shut
you,
down, man. I shut down completely. Like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I shut down completely.
But she tweets a lot.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
She shuts down, but she tweets a lot.
I do. I tweet every single thing. Yeah, sure. But yeah, don't talk to me. I'm just tweeting. Like, don't talk to me.
How long before the game do you guys get nervous?
I'm already nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been a week.
Me too. And I take things personally, like I say, I was watching media. I'm lucky enough to have an account with Chivas. I was watching media day and on YouTube too. And I was like, oh my God, why? Let me answer. I wanted to be there, but it was fun to watch. And I agree with you guys completely. It was a different way. It was Super Bowl. It was Fútbol Americano. It was really nice. The entertainment part was not looked over, I think, in this time, because we had our fill of both teams. It was magnificent. It was really well managed. And one thing I come back with about what you said about Pauno, he also said that he got emotional during the cheering at Verde Valle yesterday when the bands came in. They were unfurling the flags and stuff. I don't know if he really had that experience in Europe. I know he played with Atletico, so I'm sure he had that experience of that feeling of ecstasy, for a clásico. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's the
but
first time as a coach to get that.
but
And on
he said that actually he never witnessed like with this magnitude. Like he knows exactly that they are the two biggest teams in Mexico, whatever. But the extent of the fandom from both teams and what they were doing, like he said, like it blows my mind. So yeah, I think it's the first time, like as a coach, he's having this kind of exposure.
And any coaches except for, well, who we had back in 2017 have never expressed themselves that way. Really. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy is all in. He's all in with us.
He's all heart. I love
He's
him.
all heart, man. And you know what? I think he kind of
And it translates
embodies,
to the players.
definitely. And it embodies everything that I like. When you said, when do I start getting nervous? I get nervous all week, but once, especially when I find my America friends, I stay away from them.
I stay away from them from like a week prior. Yeah, sure.
But as an expatriate, once the game starts and they start singing el himno nacional, el clásico de México, el himno nacional, yo lloro. I'm not going to lie, man. I feel that stuff down to my bones. And being in the stadium, it's something that it's indescribable. I mean, I'm sure I could try, but it's definitely an experience that it's indescribable. Being there in a clásico, any game, but once I'm there and it's a clásico, I think all of my emotions come out at that moment when we sing el himno nacional.
And these are the games that you have to win. Like I know there's no such thing as a small opponent. That's not what I'm saying. But this is like, I don't care if you're above me, if I'm above you, if you're doing better than me. I have to win this game. Like it's all about winning this particular game. I don't care how. Well, I do, but
Yeah. Bueno, si juegan feo y ganan.
exactly. I mean, it's a win. A win is a win,
A
right?
win is a win, right?
And especially because the bragging rights are really important for the fan, because
Mhm.
that's the whole point. It doesn't matter how the team is doing at that point, and it's not that it saves the season. I never saw it as, because there's always that talk about like saving the season, right? Like, well, I had a horrible season, but I beat my most hated rival. I think there is that idea of having the bragging rights for the week, for the month, for the season. Until you face each other. So it is really important to see it. When you talk about it, how you get nervous, maybe I'm in a different perspective because I broadcast the games, but you still feel how big those games are. And when you get to be at any of the stadiums for a match like this, and particularly this one, and growing up knowing what it meant, going it as a fan, and then later on even have the luxury of playing at a couple of those stadiums a couple of times, and even against those teams, even though it was not first division, you realize how big they are, and you start feeling that emotion, and you start feeling those jitters before the game starts, where you know what's coming, and hopefully we can translate that also when we're broadcasting it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, not before my first beer is finished, okay? Nothing surprising.
Well, I can't do that, though. I can't do that.
Ya, lo que venga.
I can't have the beer.
If you want tickets, what do they have to do, my friends?
So they have to interact with Chivas in English, our official account in English on Twitter, and you have to tell us your predictions for the game. Use a hashtag #WeGoTo, which is the name of the show, and also El Clásico de México with your predictions and what game do you want to go to. Remember, we have two games, the 22nd against Pachuca and the 25th against Toluca. It's in San Jose?
Right.
Pachuca is in San Jose and Toluca is in LA. Yeah.
In LA, exactly. So yeah, go interact with us in Chivas, at ChivasN_, and tell us your predictions and let us know what game do you want to go see.
Oh, the one in LA is in Carson. Just
Okay.
throwing that out. That's a joke
Or-
because
yeah.
Carlson, California, technically they always make fun of LA Galaxy because they don't play in LA. That's a whole like rivalry between them and the Quakes and the LAFC. So it's like
Ah.
it's not in LA, it's in Carson. But yes, it's LA. It's a greater LA area.
LA is so huge though, man. It's like
It's huge. Yeah.
It's huge.
fans. I went to school there and it's just enormous, enormous. Hey, ahí les va un buscapié. A ver quién se
Shoot.
atreve. See, if Alexis Vega were available tomorrow, would you use him from the start?
Not from the start. Not from the start. There's plenty of tournament ahead, and you
Why
know
risk him?
there's still important matches. You know, even though El Clásico de México, as we just said, it's important and everyone wants to win it, and especially because of the bragging rights. But guess what? Then we have Clásico Tapatío after international break. So maybe not from the start, and there's plenty of other matches, and we gotta secure this Liguilla spot. At the end of the day, tomorrow is only 3 points. Yes, I know it's against América. Yes, I know that maybe the last Clásico didn't go as we expected, but not from the start. That's my
Let's not
opinion.
talk about that. Let's not.
I also feel like and I saw this when you guys were doing the show last week. You can't fix what's not broken, and there is that little trap of thinking that maybe you didn't get the result the last game when you faced Puebla, but you don't need to go crazy. The team is doing well. It's in a really good spot. Pauno has made them do things that seem dynamic, and then the team is working and it's being able to be cohesive. So you don't necessarily need to move a piece there now. However, that's where the trap is, because last game you didn't win it. The reality is that you didn't get with the 3 points. So if during the week Alexis has shown that he can bring something to the table on that 11 that can make a big difference, then sure, use him. It just doesn't seem like, and again, we're talking from the outside, like Pauno is the only one who sees him every day, knows where he's at, how much different he is, if he needs to bring him in to do the things that he wants him to do, and especially what he's also expecting of America. So it seems obvious that you want to have your best player there, but it's also, you already have a good set of games where things have gone well, and you don't necessarily need it. And having that depth on the bench to be able to bring it on when things are not really going your way, I think it's a really good weapon to have.
Definitely. I like the way that, well, I think Alexis has a lot to prove, you know, coming back from El Mundial. But like you said, if it's not broke, why fix it?
Why fix it?
Yeah,
If
they're
it ain't
working.
broken, don't
Yeah,
fix it.
it ain't
Yeah.
broke, don't fix it. They're working very well. I love the way that they're moving the ball. You know, I'm a big fan of the midfield as it is, but he is that turning point. Maybe, you know, let's see. He and Kone, right? Because Kone is also a probability. Maybe
They're both
to come
available.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both available.
And Kone is Iron Man. Kone, man, he's like that conejito. What was that? That
Energizer.
the battery brand. Yeah, running around. That guy's like, you know, he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. It's wonderful to watch him. It's wonderful to see him back. And like you said, maybe, yeah. I talked to actually a friend about Vega coming back, and he asked me what I thought. I thought that it's not the time, you know.
Right.
And it's not because it's not broken, and it's just that he needs time to get back into the rhythm of things, I think. You
And
know?
there's still you know, there's a couple of friendly matches next week, so they're gonna be a softer rhythm, I guess. And I think it's better just to go poco a poco, you know. But the similarity between Kone and Alexis, since both have been included on the squad, is that they're both very vertical players. You know, they have that capacity of getting the ball and advancing a lot of meters with the ball dominated. Kone does it more between, let's say, between midfield towards 3/4, and Alexis is more of a finisher from 3/4 until the goal. So, you know, if at any time we need the verticality and we need that guy to take the ball and arrastrar marca and get into the box, they could be options, you know, with maybe for the last 10 minutes. And yeah, who knows? But in any case, there's still 2 friendlies next week where rhythm's gonna be softer, and it's better to go poco a poco. And speaking about next week's friendlies, remember that you can interact to our English Twitter account to get some tickets for Wednesday the 22nd against Pachuca in San Jose, and in Carson next week, Carson next to LA area, as Carlos said, against Toluca on Saturday. So everything you gotta do is interact with us on Chivas EN_ Twitter account. That's our English official Twitter account, with the We Goat You hashtag, and with your prediction for tomorrow. That's all. That's everything you gotta do, and you enter the contest for tickets. So you don't have to actually hit the score. So why not give it a shot?
Yep. Put your money where your mouth is, as always.
He's throwing me all the Galaxy fans on top now.
All the West Coast are gonna be like, hey.
Good thing we're in Chivas. That could be, what is it? Pegriloso?
Pegriloso.
Pegriloso.
Gabi, una pregunta.
Yes. Sir.
Where can we watch the Chivas match?
Where can we watch, Mr. Producer? Can you please?
Mr. Producer.
Please,
Throw
can
it.
you please throw it? There we have it. Where to watch? Chivas AMÉRICA, Saturday, tomorrow at 9:10 p.m. Central Time, 8:10 p.m. Pacific, and 11:10 Eastern Time por Chivas TV, TUDN y TV Azteca, and in the United States, en Telemundo.
That is right. Both
That
on
is right.
but on Telemundo Air, that will be for the game in Spanish with a great preview, all done from Guadalajara. Everybody's at the Akron to bring you the best content in Spanish for the US. And then in English, you can watch us on the Telemundo app. There you can go to the section that says sports. You can find the game. It will give you the option whether you want to listen to it in English or Spanish. And in English, I will be there doing the analysis next to Jose Baus, who's going to be doing the play-by-play. So you can also have all the content of Chivas in English with Telemundo.
And can I just say, spoiler alert, Carlos Justiz is very good at predicting scores. So if you don't know this, like we had our interactions on Twitter, like, hey, how's it going to go? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, 2-0, whatever. And that's exactly the score. So I'm so much wanted to hear his predictions for this game, because it's pretty much going to be that. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah.
Throwing me under the bus. What is this?
Yes, Mr. Justice.
Yes.
Do you want it now? Do you want the prediction now?
Should we wait?
I don't know. I just throw in it. Like, I'm very curious to see and to listen to his predictions for this game, because I'm going to be like, okay.
It's okay. It's this one. I think you're on the right side of things. We're good.
Okay, fine.
Those days are long gone. Don't worry.
Well, let's think about that. Let's hold that. Everybody hold that thought, because we're going to think about it. I want us to talk a little bit about which players you guys think, in your opinion, will make a difference in tomorrow's match. For example, earlier this week, I had a chance to look at to have the leyendas, where Ramon Morales and Demetrio Madero exchanged their interpretation of the Clásico de México with Carlos Reynoso and Juan Carlos Medina. It was a Foro de Leyendas. I don't know what you guys, those guys were game changers. Yeah,
for sure.
Ramoncito, if you knew, he had El
Eterno Capitán.
El Eterno Capitán, los penales,
the free kicks,
los tiros libres,
the crosses.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, everybody was shaking. I would go open a beer even before he shot those, right? And Carlos Reynoso, for the older people, right? Us older folks who had a chance to see him, that guy was a beast, man. He was an awesome player, great technique, but he was just all physicality. Wonderful, wonderful player. So who do you guys think is going to make the difference in this Clásico de México, this new Clásico?
I'm going to jump first. I think for Chivas, on the Chivas side, it has to be Eloso González. I think also has been having a very underrated season, and he's the one that can break down the circuits for América. Because if you really think about it, América is a really good team in transition, has really good midfielders also on that. That's how they broke down Tigres, making them long, and Eloso can bring you that balance. And then everybody on the defense. You have to be very smart. You have to be on top of everything. And if you can stop the guy that has the most scores, the most goals in the whole tournament, you're already doing your job. But that's going to also come from not giving all that space, to being able to manage that line, but also be vertical. You have to go up. You have to be able to bring out both fullbacks and involve them into the attack. But at the same time, they need to help you on defense. But that's exactly what I think Alonso makes the most difference, because he's that key that can bring you and stay back a little bit and help you out.
I agree. You got my vote. Everybody knows I'm a Oso fan.
You're so happy when he said that. You were like,
Definitely. I was like,
"Yay!"
yeah, I'm vindicated. I've been
Me also.
vindicated.
He does-
I'm very defensive minded, unfortunately. So that's also why you're always gonna see it on my comments. And so I was like, no, the defense. You always gotta get it to the center backs.
Right. And plus, he's like all over the place. I've seen him mature. We've talked about this a lot. I don't want to bore you guys, but, you know, he has matured, and you could see that he is putting his maximum effort out there in recouping and trying to distribute the ball, at least to someone who could distribute a little bit easier. Magnificent job. So also, Carlos
Yeah.
Justice says also. And
Jose Salazar actually agrees with Carlos. He says, aside from Pocho Guzman, he feels that Oso Gonzalez is going to be a key player, and completely agrees with his point of view. What do you think, Abby? Who do you think is gonna
I
be
agree.
important?
I actually agree, and I think Pocho, he has like this fire, like he has to prove something. I mean, he's the current scorer of Chivas, so I think particularly this game, he's going to be like, and in press conference, and every single time he's been on screen on this El Clásico de Mexico week, he's like, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. So he has like this passion and this urge to be like 100% at Chivas referent, and also to be able to accomplish something in El Clásico de Mexico. I think is going to be like huge for him. So I think those two are going to be the players are going to be like,
And you know, actually, yesterday at the media, they also spoke about, now that you're talking about his belonging feeling at Chivas.
Yeah.
Also said last night that for him it's very special to get to represent Mexico every weekend, and that when he plays for Chivas, he's representing Mexico. So, and he's also from Cantera, so his sense of belonging, besides his quality on the pitch, totally very, very important player.
And you know what's crazy about Pocho, from what Gabi was saying, is that he has that urge to show and to show something, or to demonstrate something, when he doesn't have to.
exactly.
This guy has already won Liga MX. He's being an important player. He not necessarily has to show anything, but it's that passion that he brings. And one of the reasons why he's captain, why he scores so many goals, why he's so good in front of the camera, is because he has that drive. And I agree with Gabi too, that also on the offensive side, you need to have somebody who's going to step up and show who's boss. And to do that, you need somebody like Pocho Guzman.
I was watching Die Hard 4. Yes, I'm sorry, man. These bad, but they were driving in the car. There's like everything had fallen apart, destroyed, explosions, people flying everywhere, and the co-star asks, you know, the main character, "Hey, what? You know, why do you do this stuff? You know, why do you put your life on the limb?" And he says, "Well, who else is going to do it?" You know, in short words and with, you know, foul language and everything. So who else is going to do it? And then the other guy says that's why you're that guy. Pocho is that guy. Okay. He's that guy. He's the one. What else can I do? Who else can I send? He's that guy's going to take that opportunity. And I can see him inspiring the other younger players to be those lads, to be those guys on the pitch, to take the responsibility, to take the risk, you know, go for it. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I can see it now. That's that security. It's something. They're strutting. It's no longer little mini steps.
That leader that
yeah.
Chivas needs. Like, how long has it been that Chivas hasn't had like a great leader? Like, I cannot remember since Carlos Salcido. Like, this guy like makes a difference and like yells at them and like, hey, this, that, or defends when the other player like fouls Nene Beltran and Nene just go flying across the field. And this is like, what's your problem? You're not that kind of leader that Chivas needs. And I think he wants this so bad. So I think tomorrow is going to be a great day for him.
Yeah, he gives everything for Chivas. He took the captain role very, I wouldn't say lightly, but without feeling the pressure of being the captain of the most important football team in Mexico. So he's really feeling the colors for Chivas. He's really engaged with the institution. He's hungry for glory, even though he's been Mexican champion, and he's very committed with the institution, just as committed as Jose Salazar, who is super excited about tomorrow's game, and he will be traveling from San Benito, Texas, all the way to Estadio Akron, rooting for El Rebaño Sagrado. So what better
Jealous,
than that?
Jose. Yay.
Jose, if you can find me, I park in Green Zone 7. Okay? We're usually burning steaks and stuff. Okay? If you can find me, Siete Verde. Okay?
Robert es el amo de los tailgates en el Akron.
Find
Yeah.
me. Yes. I've been
Wait,
doing this for 10 years.
do you say you're burning steaks?
But yeah, they don't get really cooked. No one's paying attention to what we're doing there.
That's what I
Yeah,
needed
we're
to know.
just
But there has to be a
tailgating.
method to his madness.
It's the conversation, man. It's the beautiful part.
Look
That's
for
why we
him.
go. That's why we go. That's one of the things we were talking about the other day too. When did you become a Chiva fan? Let's talk a little bit of that. When do you recall that moment when you became a Chiva fan? I remember because it was Jalisco Stadium. I told you guys I was 11 years old when that happened. But you know when I really, really, really became a Chiva fan? Is when I started taking my kids to the Akron and we started spending our time together with my sons. And then we started, like, other neighbors started coming with us, like, why are these guys going? They always come back really happy, and then they started hanging out with us. And then we just became a family. And at one point before the pandemia, there were at least 15, 20 people there at some point during the afternoon before the game. And we have been going there for about 11 years now. So we saw our kids grow up. Our kids are now bringing their parejas and their girlfriends. And we have seen the whole expanse. When you go to the Akron, there is a sense of peace, okay? There's a sense of peace because even though other people are there from other teams, the esplanade, the sense of camaraderie of being a family is present, very present. So, José Salazar, si me encuentras, te regalo una chela o lo que tengamos, te comes lo que gustas.
He
ahí.
said, hey,
bird
I'll look for
steak.
you.
You
If
are
invite me
invited.
out to eat,
Una
I'll be
torta
there.
ahogada.
Una
Yeah.
torta ahogada, no, but I'll take him to the pesebre. He could go, oops. He
Oh,
could go buy his lunches over there. Best lunches ever.
Yeah.
So what's
Así-
up, my friends?
¿Los lonches son tan sabrosotes?
Están deliciosos. ¿Nunca has probado, Carlos?
A los lonches en general, sí, bro.
No. Todos ustedes tienen que venir a buscar. All of you guys have to come visit me in Siete Verde, okay?
All my family is from Guadalajara, so I go often. I go with my cousins often to a lot of Chivas events and things, and also to play soccer. Even though I I kind of refuse sometimes to do it. they take it way too seriously. I can't deal with that. But yeah, I definitely if the invitation is there, I'm at some point gonna be there.
They're on
and
me.
I'll
They're on
definitely-
me, really, guys. If you ever come,
I need to go to
part of-
Guadalajara
it's part
soon.
of the experience. If you come to the Akron, you have to do the tailgating experience.
But I was going to say from what Robert was saying about when you become a Chivas fan and how you understand it and how you can translate that to the field. And again, just making one of those references that seem like out of place, but it makes sense. During this season, the San Francisco 49ers had a really good run. They played the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers were the two biggest teams in the NFL in the 90s. It was the Chivas and AMÉRICA of the NFL. So a lot of these guys who are playing on the San Francisco 49ers nowadays are in their 20s, and they never got to see those games. They didn't know Joe Montana. They didn't know Jerry Rice or any of the big names from the 90s.
Dwight.
So Dwight Clark is exactly Dwight. He never saw Dwight Clark in the 80s. So what Kyle Shanahan did with his team is that he actually sat them down and made them watch the games, even with the crowd shots, because he's like, you guys are representing these colors. You are the San Francisco 49ers. You got to understand what's on stake when you're playing the Dallas Cowboys. So again, maybe that doesn't translate exactly to even Paunovic, like showing that to Chivas, but there has to be that awareness of you when you wear those colors, when you put the shirt on, that once you get down there and you have those fans screaming at you on the red and white, and you represent Chivas de Guadalajara, you have to feel the colors. And the same goes for the other side. Like if you're wearing the America jersey, you need to know what it understands and what it represents and what it means, not only to that game, but to the Mexican soccer. So I think that's something that is really important, because when you talk about it, how you feel it as a fan, the player needs to understand that and needs to understand it on the field. And most of the time, that's what makes the games better.
Yes, they leave it all on the field, right? Blood, sweat, and tears, everything.
So we have a lot of new comments, so keep them coming, please. So we have this one from Sergio Martinez. Dice, I feel like we can put in Vega after halftime if we are losing at that point, and see if he can help us score. So that's interesting. We all agree, I think, at this point that he should not start, but he maybe should be subbed in, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Shook it was.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think the answer to that question, only Paunovic has it. He knows where Vega is physically. He knows where it is in terms of rhythm, where he is about ball touches. So if he decides that he's ready for it and there's something that he's going to bring that's going to make a difference, he'll do it. Now, the fact that, again, when you can have depth on your bench, when things are not going right, it's sometimes good to have a big weapon. But again, I think that answer, we do feel like it because it's how it's been, because how he's been physically, where he has been after especially the kind of injury he had. But at the end of the day, again, the coach has the answer, and we'll see tomorrow. Like there could be that surprise, right? Like you have Alexis Vega starting on the starting 11 to face America.
It's this Pauno's first Clásico, remember? So
Yeah.
let's see how he approaches it. We know he loves Chivas. We know he's all in. I don't know if he would take that risk because, like I said, again, Vega is a game changer, but he's out of rhythm. He's out of rhythm. I know he's been practicing, but I don't know. But I do agree that he could come in after halftime, and then let's see what he has, man. Like I said, he has everything, and he's willing to show what he has and bring it to the table. Yeah. Where can we watch the game, my friends? Again, throw that banner up.
Mr. Producer, there it is. En México por Chivas TV, TUDN y TV Azteca, y en Estados Unidos por Telemundo. Mañana, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central, 8:10 p.m. Pacific, and 11:10 Eastern Time. Señor Justice.
That's
your
right.
Commercial.
Well, especially if you're here on Chivas in English. If you're wanting to watch a game in English, you have the possibility, if you're in the United States, to watch it on the Telemundo app. It's Jose Baus and myself where we bring in the game in English. Everything starts, as I said, 8 Pacific. On the Telemundo side, we have a big preview of a huge previa for the game. So if you're on the Pacific Coast, it starts at 7, 9 Central, or 8 Central now. Or 9 Central, actually, here in the U.S., because let's also clarify that with the times. The U.S., if you're in Central Time in the U.S., we did have daytime savings. So you are 2 hours ahead, and then
That's
you're
so
3
crazy.
hours ahead. But if you're in Mexico and you're Central Time in Mexico, you're only one hour ahead. So again, 7 o'clock in the Pacific, 9 Central in the U.S., 10 o'clock in the East Coast.
So there you have plans for Saturday night. What are better than El Clásico de México?
El Clásico.
What do you think? What are your pronósticos, guys? Let's get into subject.
Oh my God.
Let's do Carlos.
Oh,
Carlos
my
at the
God.
end. Everybody first,
Okay,
and then Carlos
okay.
at the end. All right.
Oh, I just feel that
They're
pressure.
gonna copy
Yeah.
you, bro. So you gotta
I
wait.
feel that pressure.
I feel it's gonna be 2-1 for Chivas. 2-1. Entertaining. 3 goals for the night. So I see Rios scoring for some reason. Yeah.
Nice.
Rios. Yeah.
If they send in those centers like they were doing against Puebla, Rios will put one in probably.
Yeah, I see Rios scoring one tomorrow, and maybe a goal from a defender, like a header.
That ball situation too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that ball. Yeah, that
Okay,
maybe.
2-1.
Yeah, maybe be 2-0, get 2-0, and maybe receive one. But a 2-1 for Chivas.
Hiciste enojar.
Robert didn't like that extra goal
Yeah, I didn't
after
like that
being up
one.
2-0.
No.
No, don't give it up.
Okay, Gabi.
Okay, so yesterday I predicted a 1-1 and I got so much hate. So I don't know. I am just very nervous and I think it's going to be a 2-1 also.
¿Quién
It's going to
anota
be
los goles?
Pocho Guzman, of course.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Nene. Mi Nene Beltran. Tiro libre.
Okay.
Boom. Yes. Yes, there
Something
it is.
outside the 18.
And from America, I don't care. But yeah, it's going to be a 2-1. For me, it's going to be a 2-1. Everybody in the comments are saying that Chivas is winning this 3-0. So I like that. Interesting.
I do too. It's cocky, but it's good. It's good.
Your turn, Robert.
My friends, a friend of mine, Americanista, said they were going to win 4-1.
America's going to win 4-1?
Yeah.
No way. No chance.
No. No.
I hope he's watching.
Hi.
No. I don't care what America does. I know we're going to score 3 goals.
3 goals.
And I'm going to say Pocho, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Piojo, because he's been kicking that ball, but he can't put it in the net. He has to. It's finally his turn.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know who's going to be my surprise scorer.
Tiba.
I'm going to say Alexis Vega, second half.
Yay. Okay.
3-0.
Okay. He's coming back.
3 whatever.
Clásico de México scoring. I like that.
3-2, whatever.
3 whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Con
Atención, por
nombres,
favor.
con nombres.
Atención, por favor.
Es Carlos Justice. Él tiene que decirnos
Yes.
los tiempos también. ¿En qué segundo? ¿Qué minuto?
No, I'm not that good. All right.
Oh my God.
So, I actually think it's going to be a very open game, and we're going to have a tie.
Clásico empate.
A 2-2 tie.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's
No para
either
nadie.
right. So it's either like one of those like critical like 2-1 winning, you like tie it last minute, or like 2-0 and then you come from behind kind of thing. That's what I feel like the game tomorrow is going to be.
And who's
Who's
scoring?
going to score those goals?
For Chivas, Pocho will score 1, and then one of the defenders will score the other one on a dead ball situation.
Come on, man.
Okay. And
Say it.
America?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, I'll give it to Henry. Henry's
Yes.
been in a streak and he can do it. But I'm saying the other one, when I say it doesn't matter is because it could be Valdez, could be Cabecita. Like they have really good players, and you can see how good they can finish. So they have a lot of options. That's why I said the defense has to be on point, and if they can be on point on the other side of the field, that's even better.
You know, if your pronostico actually happens, we will still be up by 1 point. So
Right.
Exactly. That's right.
That's right.
Hopefully it's 4 though.
Even if our pronosticos are not, I'll see you guys after the game in the parking lot.
I
For the
wanna
lunches.
go.
When I've interacted with Gabby on Twitter, sometimes when she comes back and forth with me about these pronosticos, I always tell them, it's like for the people watching, I'm happy to be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like I enjoy that everybody gets their win and they can
That
enjoy
rarely
it.
happens. Like every time, and it's like the 80-minute mark, and it's like, oh my God, like exactly 2-1, 2-0. No, Chivas is going to have it hard this time. Maybe they're going to lose, and they lose. So yeah. So he's predicting a tie. That's not bad. That's not bad.
I did say
I hope
one,
someone's writing these numbers down somewhere.
I
I
said
am.
1-1 against Puebla, and the crossbar said no. Just a
Mhm.
thought.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true. Okay, so again, the comments are interesting. So thank you so much for interacting with us. Remember, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let us know what you think and what are your predictions. And if you want to win tickets, you know what to do. You have to mention to the Twitter account in English and with hashtag We Go To, which is the name of the show, and also El Clásico de México. And what game do you want to go to?
And don't forget that Chivas Femenil is also playing this weekend.
That's right.
On
It's gonna be a big
Sunday,
one.
our Chingonas,
Our
right,
Chingonas.
are coming back on Sunday, and they're going to fight for the super liderato against La Rayadas de Monterrey. Any comments on those? What do you guys think is going to happen on Sunday? That's a tight.
That is a tight one.
That's
A tight
gonna
one
be
for the
very
first
fun.
place.
Yeah, we're getting to the top of the table on Sunday.
Hopefully.
That's my prediction. Playing at the Akron, it's in the girls. I believe that the girls are wanting to play these sort of matches against the biggest opponents in the league. Llámese Rayadas, Tigres, or América. They like these sort of matches, and it's gonna be at home. They want that first place to get them all through home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I would say it's gonna be 1-0 for El Guadalajara, and the goal is gonna be scored by Boyi Turbide.
So we're snatching that first place, right?
Yeah.
Snatching.
I like that.
And
I
yes,
like
you know what? If they want, they have to win. They have to beat the best. They always have to beat the best. And what about El Tapatío? El Tapatío is also doing really good. I saw Sebastián Bouquet put
Sebastián
in a
Pérez
goal the other
Bouquet.
day.
That's
love
class.
Cosa de gol
Yeah.
metió.
Yeah,
esta
that's
semana
class.
pasada. What do you guys think is going to happen there? They're moving up on the
Yeah, on
on
the
the
table,
table as
first
well.
place. Yeah, first place for El Tapatío with 7 wins, 3 ties, and only 1 loss. 20 goals scored and only 12 received. Top of the table with 24 points. Tapatío is having a good season so far. Next match is against Mérida away on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central. So let's hope to keep it up at the top of the table. The point difference with the second place is 3 points, which is Celaya, and they're the second place. So hopefully Tapatío keeps it up as well.
Okay,
And
at the end,
where
what
to
do we
watch?
watch?
Yeah.
Bibi.
I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Where to watch Chivas Femenil? Mr. Producer, please. There you go. Where to watch Chivas and Rayadas Sunday por Chivas TV and Fox Sports y Estados Unidos, señor Justice.
Por Telemundo. We also we're the home of all Chivas Femenil, U20, U17, obviously the men's team. So Chivas is also on Telemundo on Sunday, so you can catch it. You can catch it on the app too if you're on the go. But we have all the femenil games all the time too.
Very good.
And it's gonna be a really good match. A really good match.
That's going to be a great match.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna
Go
sound
for it.
crazy, but that game is gonna be more exciting than the men's side. That's what I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
what was that?
me dieron cazuelazo por decir eso.
Alguien aventó algo ahí.
Bring down the gong.
Definitely going to be. It's going to be exciting because they're always exciting too. Both of those matches. It's not a clásico, but Chivas Rayadas. Since.
But
the
they're
beginning
always
of the
fighting for
Pink
this
League.
first and second place.
Exactly.
First and second place. Like they're always up there. So it's going to be very good.
Yeah, in the femenil, I would say that every match involving Chivas, América, Rayadas, and Tigres, they're kind of clásicos, yeah. But el clásico de México, it's Chivas América.
Chivas América. My friends, well, I'm sorry, but we got caught up in our conversation, Carlos. Muchísimas gracias por compartir tu tiempo con nosotros. It was an honor to have you here, my friend. I hope you can visit more often. El Padrino. Justice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really excited about this new project. I actually congratulate all of you, everybody behind the scenes who decided to do this. There's a big market for Chivas in English in the United States, and it's people that follow the team every day, that are just as passionate as anyone, but they like to consume their product in English. And if you can approach them with these kind of things, it's fantastic. And to me, the honor to be your padrino for the whole thing. I mean, Robert, I've known you for a while. Gabriela, the same. We just met, but it's like I'm really excited about you. I'm really excited about you having this platform that you've been trying to create for a while. And the same on this side, you know that if you want to come to me on my social media, on everything that we do on air too, and on our websites. There's a lot of things coming also with Telemundo Deportes that are still on the wraps, and I'm really excited to be part of it, and really excited to be here with you.
Thank you very much. This is the way. This is the way.
This
I
is
see
the
you're a
way.
Star Wars fan over there.
This is the way. Why
Bueno, mis amigos.
Me? No.
Casi nada. Bueno, mis amigos, ha llegado el momento de despedirnos. But never fear, this is not a goodbye. Es un hasta pronto. Tune in next week for all the information of the most Mexican of teams, las Chivas Rayadas de Guadalajara. This was We Go Chew Live. Ganan mis Chivas 3 a lo que sea.
Arriba las Chivas.
Nos vemos. Que descansen.
See you guys.